Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Just to be transparent with you, I have already filmed this, but totally forgot to put the mic on. So it was silence. Just me babbling, like I was being dubbed or something. Anyway, today we're just going to talk about a few things that have been going on, especially with Poshmark, and a little bit just sort of in general with the reseller world. So Poshmark has been updating the app, lots of new things coming out, which is fantastic and wonderful. But there's been a lot of glitches and a lot of things that just don't seem to be working well. For instance, bundles. People are complaining that bundles are harder to do. How do you do them? It's not working the same way. I personally don't deal with a lot of bundles. I, as the seller, don't put people's items into bundles very often. More often than not, my buyers are putting things into bundles and I just go with that. So I haven't noticed any difference. For me, what I do is I go to the item and I'll be okay. What I do is go to the item. If someone has liked an item, I go to that item. I scroll to the person's name in the likes, click on that person's name, and it'll bring up their closet. I go to the upper right, there's a little circle with a shopping bag, click on that, switch to sell view, scroll down to the item that it should be at the bottom of that page, and now the little put it into a bundle is actually on the photo. I click on that and it goes into the bundle. That's the way I've been doing it. Don't know if that's the way everybody else has been doing it. Let me know in the comments. I do know that at one point last week, even that wasn't working. The items were not going into the bundle, so there was a bit of a glitch happening, which caused a lot of frustration, which Poshmark really needs to pay attention to, because they caused a lot of frustration over the last little while. With their shipping announcement and with the packaging announcements, there's a lot of things going on there because they do not communicate very well and very openly. So people get very frustrated. So the bundles have been very frustrating for people. Let Poshmark know. If you're having an issue finding how to do a bundle, if it's not working for you, absolutely let them know every single time it happens. Another thing that people have been complaining about is that the share button is smaller. I have not noticed this because I don't manually share, so it's not something I pay attention to. But I went and I looked and I was like, no, it looks the same to me. It doesn't look overly small to me either. And I do wear glasses to read so I can see. I wear them when I film so I won't be squinting at you going, who is that person? Just so you know. But I haven't noticed that. I did update my app yesterday, so there's been no new changes. Everything seems the same to me as well. Let me know if your share symbol is smaller or not, okay? For me, one of the things that is annoying is the text code when you're signing in, which is fine. I understand what it's for. It's for safety. I get it. I appreciate that. I do hope in the future they bring out, okay, mark this app or this phone as safe or this computer as safe for 30 days so I don't have to get a text message every single time I sign in, because it's just annoying every single time. Because with my computer, I am in and out multiple times a day. My app is open on my phone, but I close it off on the computer. When I'm done, I sign out and everything else. So I find it very annoying, because not only do I have to have a text code, I get a notification that, okay, you've signed in, and then I get an email that I've signed in, and I understand it, don't get me wrong, but it's just a little excessive. So I hope that they do come out with something that you only have to do it once a week or something like that. CCO, closet clear out. They've changed it on PoshUS. I believe now it's Thursdays and Sundays. It's still Friday and Sundays here in Canada. On this past Friday, it wasn't working. It was not sending out discounted shipping notifications. I know that a lot of people were complaining about it because the banner was up. We were like, okay, it's closet clear out. And if you use it as a tool to get sales, when it doesn't work, it's very frustrating. I know that some people went, okay, wait a minute, maybe it's still working, but they got rid of that little discounted shipping banner that goes on to those listings. So they got people to like their items and said, okay, I'm going to lower the price. Did you get a notification? And notifications weren't being sent out. So this is a huge issue on Poshmark. It's a huge glitch. Again, it was only Poshmark Canada. It did work on Sunday. Sunday it was back to normal. So it was a glitch. Something happened. but it's another frustration. And it's a frustration that we don't need as sellers. I know for me, I've been relisting a few things. I have 3 specific items in my closet that are over 60 days old, that every time I go to copy the listing, it says, whoops, you can't do this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what the heck, thinking it was just a glitch or something. So I left it for a day, went back, and no, still can't do it. I emailed Posh support because it was like, okay, I gotta let them know that this is happening, what's going on. And they basically they got back to me fast, so I'll give them that. But basically said to me, okay, well, rest assured your account is fine. We checked, everything's fine. So I went in to do it again, to relist these items, to copy so I could relist it. And then the same error message happened. So I will be emailing them back and saying, rest assured it did not change anything. Nothing happened. And I have updated, I have uninstalled and reinstalled. So I don't know what's going on with that. I am frustrated, so I'm going to have to take those 3 listings and manually do it by copying the photos and then redoing them completely from scratch, which is something that I don't want to do. I want to use the copy feature. That's what it's there for. So I'm frustrated because I'm very specific with my timing. I have things I do on Monday, things I do on Tuesday, Wednesdays are for this and that and whatever. And when something happens and I get a glitch and I have to rearrange my schedule, I'm frustrated. And I shouldn't have to be frustrated on a daily basis. I should be able to do what I need to do for my business when I can do it. Glitches happen. Don't get me wrong. I understand that sometimes things go awry. You know, that happens. But when it's one thing after another thing after another thing after another thing, all on top of the economy, the way the market's going, things that are happening in the world, it's too much. You know, it's really take a deep breath and walk away kind of thing. But I have noticed a huge uptick on social medias in the reseller community about the frustration, about just people being nasty to each other. And you know what? It's unfortunate. I understand it. I understand both sides of the coin there. I am frustrated as well, and I'm upset, and you know, I'm stressed. But you know what? I think it's really important to remember that not everybody has a Paul that they can talk to. I have a spouse that is in the same business, and we can vent to each other. And believe me, there's been a lot of venting going on in the last little while, but we have each other for that. I also have friends in the business that I can, you know, bounce ideas off of and talk to. So I am very fortunate. Some people out there don't have that support system. Their support system is in a Facebook group or is online somewhere. It's a part of this general community. So when you see a post in a Facebook group, whether it's a, hey, look, I did really well this month, I'm really proud, to the opposite of, oh, sales are really slow, what the heck, I think both of those types of posts are valid. You know, I think we should celebrate somebody else's doing well to a certain degree, which I'll talk about in a second. But definitely celebrate people, because their success means that maybe the market's picking up and we'll have success as well. And for those people that are like, sales are slow, what do I do? You know, reaching out, allowing them to voice that, and letting them be heard is really, really important for mental health and just in general. But I also think that giving them some tips or tricks and hearing what other people do in that type of situation is a learning thing. You can learn from other people. With someone doing really well, if they're like, hey, I did this kind of sale and this is what my results were, that helps the community. That's like, oh, that's a good idea. Maybe I'll try that kind of a sale. When some people, and this is very specific, I belong to a group, and it's a group I'm not in love with. It's not one of my groups. My groups are great, fantastic, but this group that I just belong to allows anonymous posts, which I think are pretty much wrong on most levels, but they allow these posts that say, oh, sales are so slow and it's been such a bad month, but I've only made $4,000. And that's a humble brag. That's not helpful at all. That doesn't say, hey, I did this kind of sale and I made this much money, or, you know, I found this brand and it made me this much money, or whatever. It's just a humble brag. And it's a terrible, first of all, they're anonymous. It's like, whatever. And it's frustrating because sales are slow right now, for the most part. They are slower than they were last year, for the most part. And when you just blurt out, hey, I'm making thousands and thousands of dollars, it's not helpful. It's, yeah, I will celebrate. That's fantastic. Great. That's, or I had a really bad August, but my September is looking up. That's fantastic. I love that. But when you just do a humble brag just to get people to say, oh, look at you, you're wonderful, it's just not my type of thing. You know what? And it adds to the frustration. I can celebrate people that are doing well, and I can see what they're doing to do well, and there's things I can try and things that I just don't have the ability to do. And when somebody is doing okay, like I'm doing okay, I'm not doing horrible, but I'm not doing fantastic, I want to do better. I am looking at different ways to improve my business, whether that is, yes, a live show. I am really, really toying with that because I have to do something that's different, and that's the only thing I can think of right now. I try different brands. I am trying to stay consistent. Right now, my goal is to stay consistent for a few months or a couple of weeks, because sometimes I'm not consistent. I'm trying to list and to share and to do all that kind of thing all the time. That's my goal, is to stay consistent. So that will build my business. But I'm also looking at trying new things. So learning from the bad, or from the, I'm not doing so good, what can I do? And learning from what people comment. And learning from those people that are doing really well, saying, I tried this kind of sale, I'm doing this brand, I'm doing this. Learning from them as well will be helpful as well. So being a reseller right now is very frustrating. If you are a reseller in Canada, you know what I'm talking about, because we have, with the tariffs with the United States, not to get political or anything like that, but I'm no longer selling, I've lost marketplaces. I'm no longer selling on Poshmark US. My Poshmark US closet is on vacation mode for the near future. I think right now I've got it until November, just to see what happens. So that's income that I have lost. Because I have. It's gone. That marketplace is gone for me. Because it's no longer viable for me with a 35% tariff put on my items. And that's just the way it is. That is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. No fault of my own. But it's frustrating. It is a huge pivot. And it's something that is causing a lot of stress. In not just my business, but across the board. So please keep in mind that a lot of people are under a lot of stress. A lot of things are going on in this world. Please treat each other with kindness as much as you possibly can. If there is something that you need to vent, please vent it. I am here if you need to vent it. I'm good with that. Yeah, that's about it. I know I went on a bit of a ramble there, and it's a sort of a ranty, I don't even know what to call this video, but we'll find out soon enough. I'll figure something out. I'm hopeful that Q4 will be a bit better, because people do tend to, loosen their purse strings in Q4. So we'll see. I'm hoping that it does pick up, especially for me and Poshmark Canada. I want to get back to where it used to be, which it hasn't been there for a couple of years, so I don't know what's going on. And the part of it is me and not being consistent, and me and not picking up the right brands and everything else. So I'm working on that. I'm always looking to myself first, and then I'll look at outside sources. Anyway, hopefully Poshmark gets their ducks in a row and glitches will stop, and we can get on selling. Okay? Have a good week, everybody, and I'll see you next time.